Hey, what's up? I am Michelle B. In this video, I'm going to talk about a technique to help you be kinder to yourself. This is part of my Self-Love 101 series. If you want to watch the other videos in this series, they will be linked down below. This series is all about actual, real, practical things that you can do to up the self-love in your life. So let's talk self-compassion and self-kindness. The interesting thing about being kind to yourself is that we can all be a little bit shit. Your friends, they can be a bit shit. Some of them can be flaky. Some of them are a pain in the ass to go to the movies with. If you have a partner or you've had a partner, you know that they also can be a bit shit. You post cute photos of them on Instagram with really loving captions. Meanwhile, you are well aware of the fact that your partner leaves his beard hair in the sink despite the fact that you've asked him to stop doing that at least 7 times. Your family can be a bit shit too, and I won't give you any examples because you can probably use your pre-existing knowledge and your imagination. So let's go ahead and acknowledge that every person that you know and every person in the world has their own unique individual shitty behaviors. We can also acknowledge that despite your friend talking way too loudly in movies and your partner grinding the hell out of their teeth at night, you still love them. Better than that, you like them. You like their personality. You want to hang around them. And most importantly, you accept them in all of their shitty glory. If they're not happy with a shitty aspect of themselves, they work on it and you support them while they work on it. And if they fail, you keep on supporting them while they try and get themselves back up. So why can you not do the same for yourself? You can also be shit. More likely than not, if you're a normal human being, you are the person most aware of how shit you can be. I'm incredibly aware of how shit I can be when I am hangry. I am the partner that grinds my teeth in my sleep. It's a problem. A lot of the time, I try to do too much and I fail. The thing about self-love is that you need to be able to express it when you've done yoga 5 times in a week, your house is sparkling clean, your chores are done, your to-dos are ticked off, and on the weeks where you're too scatterbrained to get almost anything done. You flake on a friend because you just didn't feel like going and the cleaning didn't get done because there was just too much other stuff going on in life. You need to be able to accept the fact that, yeah, maybe you have some shitty behaviors, maybe you have some flaws, but you're still wholly okay. You may have shitty aspects of your personality that you want to work on, as does everyone else. And that kind of self-kindness is not an excuse for you to not work on your flaws, to try and be a better human being and get more done in your days. You can still acknowledge that what you did or did not do wasn't great, but you can do that with self-compassion as opposed to self-criticism. Researchers have shown that, yeah, self-criticism, it can get you motivated, it can be a good kick in the ass, but it also elevates symptoms of anxiety and depression. And don't confuse self-compassion with self-indulgence. There's a very big difference between the two. You can be nice to yourself while still bettering yourself. When you soothe your own pain, you're tapping into your natural caregiver system, which releases oxytocin in your body. Increased levels of oxytocin, they up your levels of trust, of feeling safe, connectedness, and compassion. Self-compassion is something that I learned the most about from Dr. Kristen Neff. Her teachings really helped me to rethink the way that I talk to myself and the way that I react to my flaws, mistakes, shameful moments, embarrassment. Because gentle reminder, we all have those moments, including YouTubers, Instagrammers, all of us. I'm going to link her TED Talk down below, and I'm going to talk through a self-compassion technique that you can use in your life to be kinder to yourself. So it kicks off with acknowledgement, because feeling bad about feeling bad, as we've discussed before, is unacceptable. So this technique would usually be applied in a moment of shame, a moment of embarrassment, a moment where you're really not happy with something that you've done. Let's say that you missed a deadline and you're angry at yourself because you don't feel like you were organized enough. You'd either say to yourself, or you would write in a journal, I missed a deadline, I got frustrated and angry with myself for not remembering that the paper was due today earlier. Then I was in a bad mood all afternoon and I snapped at my friend. Remember, this is not a chance for you to beat yourself up. This is a chance for you to factually acknowledge what's going on. So write down in almost an analytical way what happened and how you feel about it. Then you dive into common humanity. We often feel like we are the only people in the world that could feel the way that we feel in a certain moment. We're the only people going through that situation. We're the only people with that issue, that we're the only people that could feel the depth of feelings that we feel. So many feels. But there are thousands, millions, more than that are going through life and feeling the same feelings that you feel on a daily basis. It can actually be really weird to think about when you think about other people feeling to the same depth that you're feeling. Whatever your flaws, whatever your embarrassment, whatever your mistake, there are other people who have felt the same way that you do in that moment. Other people have probably dealt with the exact same situation that you're dealing with. Remind yourself that feelings of inadequacy, feelings of shame, feelings of frustration, feelings of anger, all are very normal feelings. Picture a massive group of people feeling the exact same way that you do in that moment, a massive, like, diverse, all around the world group of people. Then you need to sprinkle some kindness on yourself. There are two ways to approach a situation where you've messed up or you're not happy with yourself. The first is self-criticism. So the why can't I keep my shit together? What's wrong with me? How come I couldn't do this and everyone else could? All of those really negative feelings that we've all felt before. That's self-judgment, self-criticism, elevates our levels of anxiety, elevates depression, doesn't help in the long run. Or there is the friend approach. Talking to yourself the way that you would talk to a friend who came up to you and said, hey, I screwed up and missed a deadline. So saying to yourself like, hey, you missed a deadline and that freaking sucks. But it happens, and it happens to the best of people. You're going to be okay. This isn't the end of the world. Depending on the situation, you might want to follow that up with anything that you can do in future to stop that kind of thing from happening again. So if it's missing a deadline, you could say, maybe next time I need to chuck all my deadlines in my calendar ahead of time. If you binge watch Netflix instead of doing your essay, you'd say, okay, I'm canceling my Netflix account, or I'm asking my partner to hold me accountable for all of my essays before I watch Netflix. If you liked this video, you might like my first video in the Self-Love 101 series. I'm gonna have the playlist linked on the screen. In that video, I did touch on self-compassion, but it's such an important topic, I think it deserved its own video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you soon.